Welcome to the LynnSanity, a podcast for the Running Hook Podcast Network. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the LynnSanity podcast, a part of the Running Hook Podcast Network. And before we get into the podcast itself, please don't be afraid to rate, review, and subscribe, please. If you want to give 5 stars because I'm sexy, please go right ahead. If you want to go give 5 stars because it's a good pod, go ahead.
Disgusting.
If you got comments, you got things you don't like.
Like your ugly mug.
If you don't have anything at all, I would just suggest that you just rate and then you would move on.
You can rate me and Zach.
You can add us all 3 on Twitter. If you want something different on the Monday LynnSanities, we can always make it work. And then, from there, let's enjoy it. And we'll move into the pod now. And I have the lovely trio once again. We're having a nice evening. We've been dissecting these games for an awfully long time. And Zach, how are we feeling? Overall, been an all right playoffs. Nothing to be too sad about, right?
No, it's been great. You see what I'm wearing, Caleb? You see what I'm wearing right now?
I do. The viewers on YouTube.
Get this sweep.
Yeah.
Get this sweep over with, Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
No, I've been pleasantly surprised with the playoffs. It's been great. Had some nice game ones last week, and then we see what happens over the course of the series. But
sure.
Once again, your usual people getting ripped, people getting praised. Let's go. And Bryce, Shadday, how are you feeling about the playoffs so far? And just tell the viewers, tell the listeners, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Caleb. I'm a little perturbed, just ever so slightly. Not much. I'm a little bothered. We had such a strong opening weekend of playoffs, and then we kind of saw some things happen. We've seen refs take over games. We've seen injuries happen, change the course of series. It's bothering me. It's really bothering me.
All right.
I'm just saying, but overall, it's been good.
No, it has. I've been more critical of the refs this postseason.
11 games, Scott Foster. Give Chris Paul a break. Give him a break.
Well, I've been more critical. I've been more critical of the refs this season. It feels like it's just not been very good overall.
Zach, you hear that? It might be taking off the PR hat.
You don't want the product to evaporate. And we'll see how they handle it moving forward. But real quick, let's just run through the series. So just to clarify, some of the series, Philadelphia, Washington, Utah, Memphis. We got Dallas and LA and Atlanta and New York. They will all be on Alex and Dylan's Basketball Power Hour. And we'll just run you through the series just in general. Philadelphia and Washington, Philadelphia with the chance to sweep, but we will not know the result of this till after the pod is posted. But it's likely that it's going to be a sweep. We have Utah and Memphis tonight in Game 4. Utah's up 2-1, followed by we got Dallas and LA. Series is tied at 2 apiece, and then Atlanta and New York. Atlanta is up 3-1 with Game 5 on Wednesday. But here we go with our series, and we'll start off with the series that got over the quickest, the Miami Heat against the Milwaukee Bucks. And Zach, before we get into it, I'd like for you to start off. I'd like to mix it up a little bit. Give me your overreaction for this series so far after the sweep.
The Godfather will trade Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson this offseason.
Wow.
Can I start?
Yeah, Bryce. Yeah.
I love this. I buy this 100%. I am with it. I buy this overreaction by Zach Griffith.
Pat Riley doesn't tolerate mediocrity in the playoffs. If you suck, look at the starting center was on the Big 3 Miami Heat team.
Joel Anthony
sucked in the playoffs. They got rid of him.
Hey, well then Jimmy Butler should be on his way out then too, because he was absolutely god awful this playoffs. God awful. God awful.
He sucked, but he shouldn't be on his way out.
30% from the field overall in the series. Just atrocious.
You know what? I'll get it out of the way now. Bryce called it a sweep. I thought Miami would fight, and they did fight in the first half of Game 4. They really did fight.
Sure.
But just they got nothing from Hero, barely got anything from Robinson. Not playing Ochoa was kind of mind-boggling. Deadman sucked. Kendrick Nunn was playing for his next contract. Trevor Ariza sucked. Andre Iguodala sucked. So, and your best players sucked. Bam didn't show up till Game 4 when it was too late. Jimmy,
right?
Jimmy had a good Game 1, but that was really it. So, it's too bad. It's too bad. I don't want to say. I think the bubble for them was a fluke for some players, Hero and Robinson in particular. I don't think it was a fluke in terms of them getting to the finals. I think they had a good chance of that even without the bubble. But they did, Bryce. They did. They were an elite defensive team.
Bubble frauds.
No,
bubble frauds.
Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson are bubble frauds.
Bubble frauds.
Nobody else on the team is a bubble fraud. So I'll give props to Bryce. He deserves it. He called the sweep, but I'm glad this series is over, guys. I'm glad it's over because it sucked. It sucked.
It was a constant beat down.
What do you think of that overreaction, Caleb?
I personally, I don't think you're too off base. The only question is, how does the league view Hero as an asset, right? Everybody likes shooting. I think you can always get somebody to get a shooter. But
a one-trick pony.
What's really funny is Miami had the opportunity to trade him for James Harden
or Kyle Lowry.
That didn't happen. So as far as I would assume his trade value will diminish from that. I will assume. And I just think that he is, it's disappointing how he's played. And if they have the ability to go get a vet, like a star, like they need to do it. And if that's through a trade, okay, do it through a trade. I don't care, right? I think they can do it through a trade. I think they may be able to entice a free agent. If somebody's frustrated or something and they say they want to get out, any of that can happen. And I think Miami will be one of the teams that people will mark down as a team that they're interested in. And I feel like Pat Riley will say, yeah, I'll give up Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson to do that. Because, I do think Duncan Robinson's a good player, but dude,
he's a good shooter.
You just shoot threes, man. You're not giving me any defense.
He's a
you're
bench
not
player at best.
It's you're like, I was texting somebody the other day. Who would you rather have, Duncan Robinson or Joe Harris? Joe Harris.
Yeah.
Joe Harris. Yeah. It's not even close. And Joe Harris is the better shooter, and he does other things on the court. Like, Duncan's got to figure out what to do, and somebody will try to bank on it. But Bryce, what do you think about it? And moving forward, what do you think about this series and the just in general, what were your thoughts?
Boy, let's give props to the Bucks here.
Sure.
They played outstanding in this series. They came out with very hot shooting in a couple of the games. Giannis did what he does. He averaged 24 and 15 and 8 in the 4 games this series. Just absolutely dominant performance. Chris Middleton played extremely well. And then you got guys that have kind of come alive. Guys like Bryn Forbes, who had some hot shooting in some games. Sure. You lose Dante DiVincenzo, but I think that's yes, it's a loss, but I think that's easily covered up in my opinion. I really do. I like Connaughton. PJ Tucker can come in, give you some solid minutes on the defensive end. I think they'll be fine without DiVincenzo. I don't think he's a vital piece to the puzzle for them in terms of getting to the finals. But what else can you say? They came out for revenge. They got it in sweeping fashion, and now they're waiting on the winner of the Nets series, which I think we all know it's going to be the Nets. I don't think we're giving Boston any chance here, and rightfully so. So I am very much looking forward to this series. I am picking the Nets right now as an early favorite.
Sure.
I'm going to pick them. Now, I reserve the right to change that. I probably won't, but I do reserve the right to change that. I'm excited for that series. I'm already hyped for the second round. It's going to be awesome.
Sure.
It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Miami, bubble frauds, Jimmy Butler, where you at? That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
I got some stuff here. Speaking of Bryn Forbes, the Bucks had 4 guys with 20 more points. The 2 you could probably guess, Giannis and Middleton, but then Lopez and Bryn Forbes.
Would you need to apologize to Lopez, Zach?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
No,
Caleb, back me up on this.
I think he completely needs to apologize to Lopez.
need
You
to
basically said he
apologize.
would be useless.
Apologize.
Fine.
You did.
Brooke Lopez, you're better than your brother. How about that?
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Here's my theory on Bryn Forbes, though.
boo.
Here's my theory on Bryn Forbes.
Okay.
He is very lucky Ariza and Iguodala played big minutes for the Heat because the Bucks were able to hide him out there on defense.
Wow.
And they were able to play him as much as they did. So it's going to be interesting to see what his impact is against the Nets because who are you going to hide him on? Joe Harris? Can't really do that.
I think that's the logical choice there.
So
I say you put Giannis on KD, Middleton on Middleton on Harden. That's a joke. Even him on Irving, that's a joke. No, I'm not gonna. I'm never changing
We'll
my
break that
pick.
down
It's
later. No, we'll break that down later.
Well-
We'll break that down later.
Bobby Portis, 13 points in 19 minutes.
Bobby Portis has been solid this
Bobby
season.
Portis
man.
is good.
He's been solid. Really good on the defensive end, too.
Yeah.
He's good. And here's some comedy for you guys. At one point on the floor together for Miami, Dwayne Dedmon, Trevor Ariza, Kendrick Nunn.
Oh, Lord. $16 million a year, Kendrick Nunn.
Well, here's Kendrick Nunn. You could tell he was playing for his next contract because he put up 15 shots and 18 points. It's a total joke. There was a report he's going to get $16 million from some schmuck team. Whoever does that, you're getting. I don't know if it's this pod or the other one, but you're getting roasted because Kendrick Nunn sucks. He's horrible. He's horrible. Bryce, I'm gonna pump the brakes on Pat Connaughton for you.
Come on.
2 points in 22 minutes. That's not going to cut it against the Nets.
Okay, it's fine. It was one game. They didn't need him to show up that game.
Well,
He'll show up when they need him to. He will.
Why are you so sure about it?
Well, yeah, why are you so sure about it?
I just am, man. Pat Connaughton is one of those players. I mean, he's an energy guy. He's super
Give me your
athletic.
top 3 Pat Connaughton moments, Bryce.
Come on, I don't watch the Bucks like that. I just know I just have a feeling that he's going to show up when they need him. I'm not saying he's going to drop 17 points a game, but I don't think 7 to 10 points is unreasonable for Pat Connaughton, and that may be all they need. They might need a little more firepower because of the Nets, but I mean, reasonably, I'm expecting 7 to 10 points a game.
I think Portis and Tucker have to be the 4th and 5th guys.
Yeah.
The Bucks.
Yeah.
I think that creates a lot of mismatch, honestly, though.
What do you mean by that?
With the Nets,
Portis on
the
Blake,
way,
I like that.
yeah,
Tucker on
maybe.
Harden.
No.
Stop.
Why?
That's my thing.
Won't be quick enough.
No, and see, that's
He's
my
tough
thing
enough.
is I don't think I don't think the Bucks have the guys to really lock down. I think Connaughton can be very useful on defense. If you don't think Connaughton can play defense, I think you're wrong.
I think he's he's not Dante level on defense, but he can play defense.
Look, Tucker's going to play a big part in this series.
Yeah, but they're going to need Tucker shooting. They need Tucker to hit threes.
Need Tucker. Yeah, I agree with that.
He guarded Durant against Golden State, and I thought he did a decent job.
Well, he's just gonna rough him up. That's what PJ's
He made it hard, Bryce.
Okay.
What PJ's gonna have to do is just basically physically come out and have to figure out a way to stop him, which I think that's going to be the only way Tucker really has an advantage. Durant's going to shoot over the top of him pretty easily if that were the matchup. I mean, it's like I can't see how
No, I'm not going to sit here and let Bryce, with his Rockets bias, because they're the only team that challenged his favorite team, trash PJ Tucker.
Oh my
PJ Tucker guarded Durant very nicely.
Okay.
As best as you could.
You can't stop Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is unguardable.
I never said that.
Unguardable.
Tucker guarded him very well.
Okay, that's great.
Get your Rockets
So probably going to
bias
drop
outta
like
here.
34. He's probably going to average 34 in that series still.
Probably. It's going to be hard.
But it's hard.
Right.
Who
It will be hard, Bryce.
Who cares? Yeah. No, Giannis needs to guard Kevin Durant, and I won't accept
Giannis
anything less. No.
Why?
That's a waste.
How's it a waste?
Why
That's
is it a
waste? I don't want Tucker on Kevin Durant.
Why?
I want Giannis on Kevin Durant because he's the MVP. That's why. He is the
James
MVP.
Harden's the most important player on this team.
Okay, maybe. No, I don't know.
I think you've even made that case when you hypocritically picked him for MVP.
Wow.
That was not hypocritical. That was not hypocritical at all.
Yes,
it was not.
No, you trashed him for years, and then you're gonna pick him.
Yes, because all he was this one-man offensive show, dribble.
Yeah,
now he learned how to pass all of a sudden. As soon as he gets to Brooklyn,
Learned how to pass.
It's awesome. It's freaking awesome, dude. I'm thoroughly enjoying James Harden as a net. This is what I've been calling to see, and I think he deserves an MVP for it.
That is.
Sue me.
I'm not. Let's not continue this further. This is borderline.
No,
absurd
I'm just calling out Bryce on his Rockets.
No, it's fine. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it, and I'll thoroughly destroy Zach just like every other time. It's fine.
Anyone who played for the Rockets from 17 to 19 is on Bryce's shit list because they challenged his team.
And I think the other factor, and let's get back to the series. The thing with the Heat and Bucks. Look, I mean, it was a complete sweep. The Bucks originally last year came out. They swept them. They swept them last year. They didn't make it really any competition. The Bucks basically did that to them, and they did it simply by they took out their best. They took out Jimmy, right? Bam. I mean, literally. Double-digit scoring felt almost impossible for Bam, until game 4, which is the first time he actually decided to start getting aggressive.
Bam sucked.
And I think he's going to move down a lot of people's lists because of that. And they set the tone, right? Even in the first game, it was a good game. It was a fun game to watch, but they set the tone. The Bucks set the tone in the first game. Right. They won the game. It showed in the game. But if you watch the game, everything indicated the Bucks had control. They did it the second time. They did it the third time. And then they go out. They do it the fourth time. Like I thought they were going to struggle. I thought the Heat were at least going to punch sometime. They never did.
No.
And that's lousy of an organization that doesn't, that wants to be this tough culture. This
one of the most
24/7 work culture, right?
Of the last decade.
Yeah, absolutely. And Spoelstra's a great coach, but seriously, Trevor Ariza didn't pan out for you. Okay, so that didn't help you.
Man, we were calling that from the.
Honestly, I think. They couldn't. He wasn't answering the bell for them. Iguodala, I don't think was ever answering the bell for them. They had no backup big. They had no backup big. Sorry, if you're going to tell me Dwayne Dedmon was a good backup big, that's just dumb. That's just doesn't make any sense. And then you have guys like Kendrick Nunn, who, I famously called Hot Pocket, who can just go hot and cold every single game.
Yeah, baby. Hot Pocket.
My biggest issue with this team, literally all season long, was they don't have a third option. They just don't. You can't. There isn't a third guy you can trust on that team. There just isn't. Trusting Dragic. I don't trust Dragic. He's capable of having a good game, but I don't trust Dragic.
I'll take the L on Dragic as well.
Robinson
he showed up in game 1. I thought he was going to keep it up, and he didn't.
And Robinson. Continuing to shoot threes and then never really finding his groove. Game 1 he found a good groove, but that's it.
One trick pony, Bryce.
What a cute player.
Hero. I just think he's good. But
hey, maybe he should spend some more time with Jack Harlow. Maybe he can fix his jumper instead of Hero fixing Harlow's jumper. How about that?
Look,
how about that?
I won't. Wow.
Got my boy Tyler in South Beach. He's gonna fix my jump shot.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, let's see it in the playoffs first, Bubba.
Let's see it in the playoffs.
Go to Orlando, fix your.
But I think the Bucks, as Bryce said, they deserve the credit. They pretty much dominated. They completely dominated.
Did Giannis look dominant or what?
I thought he looked great.
Yeah, he did.
I thought
he was
great.
Awful behind 3-point line. He didn't even shoot 10%.
Can I say I'm going at a person on the network because this is a bunch of bull. Oh. You cannot sit here and say, "Oh, Giannis was creating all the time." Oh, Giannis was just creating. Dude, that man was finishing every time he got the ball. There was no creating. There was finishing. He was making things happen. He looked like the best player in the whole freaking series by a mile and a half.
Yeah, I mean, he was flat out.
And you don't do that without finishing. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned, you did it against a team that many have very high respect for on their defensive principles, their defensive game plans, and their overall culture. And all Giannis did was finish. He finished every game. He did exactly what was needed of him. And as far as I'm concerned, like I think you guys, like this whole narrative of, I understand why he needs to eliminate the three from his game. I get it. But if you watch this series and you watch the games in this series, you can't tell me Giannis didn't finish. All he did was finish.
I have a quick question. I have a retrospect question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Did the Chris Middleton shot in game 1 just break the Heat?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
It did. Because I was going to bring it up earlier that I thought game 1 was a must win for the Bucks just from a mental standpoint. Yeah. Because this team waxed the floor with you last year in the playoffs. Bubble or not, they waxed the floor with you.
Sure.
So it's like, we got to defend home court here. It's the first playoff game we played in front of fans in 2 years. Last time we were in front of them, we got waxed by another guy in Toronto.
Yeah.
So we're not letting that happen again. So Bryce, I think it broke him.
Interesting.
I think if you said it broke him, if you said it broke Miami, I don't really think it. To be honest, I don't think it broke. I think all it did for Milwaukee was just prove why they were the best team.
Boost their confidence. Right,
like
booster.
when they picked up a guy like Holiday, they basically said everything coming out of there was like, oh, we're just experimenting everything. We're trying a lot of different things. We're just throwing Lopez out there in these certain situations because, well, we just want to do well in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You don't do that unless you're confident within your group. And the fact is that with Drew Holiday's out there, he makes you a better team, obviously, compared to what Bledsoe did. And it doesn't even, like, if you look at the offense, if you look at Drew Holiday's stats in the clinching game, Drew Holiday, 11 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. Let's say it's all that great. But, right, his defensive pressure on the ball
if you watch
is second to none.
You'd say this guy is one of the best point guards in the NBA.
You'd say Drew Holiday is a top 20 player in the NBA.
Right.
You could say Drew Holiday is a top 15 player in the NBA.
He's been excellent.
I think the Milwaukee Bucks have arguably two guys that are in that range. Middleton is top 20, top 25. Sure. And you know what? I'm also sick and tired about this. This is a big three. This is a big three.
It is.
This is a big. I'm sorry they don't
three
have
guys who can drop 20 points.
I'm sorry that they don't have superstar level egos off the court. That they don't go to these parties and clubs in Atlanta, or that they don't enjoy themselves as much as some of these other guys, or
don't date the
doesn't have as much of a bigger name brand. This is about as good of a big three as you can get.
Okay. I get where you're coming from, but let's not understand. I don't feel like this is an elite big three. It is a great big three. It is not an elite big three.
But it's a big three.
Give me a group of elite big threes then.
James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant.
I'd argue that's the only one though. Elite.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I again, like you could say it's a big three. It is with a big those three. Okay, with those three, I'm going to use it loosely though.
Why?
How many of them made an All-Star game?
Oh,
well, this year. How many? How many of them?
Did Middleton make it?
Two.
Middleton made it, right?
Two.
Okay, 2. Okay, when
Right,
we look
two.
at previous big threes, right?
But 2 of them are going to make the all-defensive team, Bryce.
Okay. But still, I mean, when we're not talking about 3 bona fide All-Stars.
Oh.
Like when we had
pardon. He did not make it. He did not make the All-Star game this
Okay,
season. Middleton
even
did
more
not
of a
make
case.
the All-Star game.
Even more of a case, right?
Go ahead.
When we had the Heatles, right? All 3 of them, All-Star game. When LeBron James had him in Cleveland, had his boys in Cleveland, Irving and Love made All-Star games. When we look at Golden State, Curry, Thompson, Green, Durant made All-Star games. Like for me, that's an elite big 3.
But none
I
of
don't
those
count
guys
them
that
as
you
an elite big
mentioned.
3.
But none of the guys on the Bucks have the name brand of the best player that you're mentioning in the big 3. Steph Curry has a bigger name brand than Giannis. KD is a bigger name brand than Giannis.
Yes, but they didn't make it because they're a big brand name. If that's the angle you're taking, that's wrong. That's incorrect.
Why is that incorrect?
That's incorrect. Because the guys that deserve to be in the All-Star game usually get voted when they are elite. When they play elite basketball, they are automatically put in the All-Star game.
Chris Bosh had some years he didn't deserve it.
Yes, but he was still good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I think you can't do much better if you're a city like Milwaukee. This is about the best thing that you can do as a big 3.
Totally agree. I totally agree with that.
And this is a big 3. And the national media and the national people are saying that this is not a big 3.
And I see both sides. I'm kind of in there like, okay, yes, this is your 3 best players. Yes, they are a well-known trio, but they are not a automatic championship big 3.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I can't disagree.
Like we knew the Heatles were inevitably going to win a chip, right? Sure. We knew the Warriors were inevitably going to win a chip. We probably knew that Cleveland was probably going to win a chip.
Boston.
Yeah.
That's fair. I see what you're saying. Okay. I get what you're saying. I think when you're looking at that, I think for the city itself, you can't do that much better. And then overall, look, just dominant performances everywhere. I mean, anything else we need to touch on here? I mean, anything you want to speak on Giannis, Zach? I know Bryce touched on it a little bit earlier, but I mean, this was, I mean, he demolished the Heat, just top to bottom.
I think he's going to average 30 at least against the Nets.
Yeah,
at least.
Maybe. Yeah.
I won't push back on that.
And I'll bet the over on that.
Because they're not going to have anybody as strong.
Nick Claxton?
Yeah. Nick, we'll see.
I will say they're going to need Nick Claxton next round. He's going to need to play more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
What's next, Caleb?
All right. So what's next is I am doing my trivia for this series.
Oh!
So I'm flipping it up. I'm doing it a little earlier.
Is it a box score from 2002?
Shut up. Okay. Milwaukee swept Miami, right?
Yeah.
How many sweeps have they had in their history?
The Bucks?
Bucks.
Oh my gosh. In playoff history.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
3 is my guess.
3? Okay.
Counting this
one.
one.
A different number?
I'm going with 5.
Final answer?
Final answer, 5.
Bryce is correct.
Yeah, baby.
It was the 5th sweep of a best of 7 series in Bucks history. They did one in 2019 against Detroit. Remember that series was bad. 1983 East semifinals. 1974 when they were originally in the West, and then 1971 NBA finals. And Miami lost the series 4-0 for only the second time. The first time was in 2007 against Chicago. All right. Well, now I got one for you guys that I think you guys will enjoy. Okay. So Giannis clearly has dominated, right? Everybody knows that. I don't need to go through the stats again. He just dominated the series. But there are only 2 players outside of Giannis to have a triple-double in the Milwaukee Bucks playoff history. Who are those 2 players?
It's got to be Oscar Robertson, right? For one of them.
Kareem
and and
Kareem
Robertson.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Final answer?
Two others besides Giannis?
Two others besides Giannis.
Ooh.
No. I remember this. It was
okay.
Kareem and Paul Pressey. That's my answer.
Oh,
Final answer?
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with that.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Paul Pressey?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Bucks players in a triple history. Paul Pressey and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What year was Paul Pressey's?
I was not able to get the years.
Okay.
I saw the thing. I was reading some stuff today, ESPN, just all over the place. I was like, oh, that's
Paul Pressey.
So Paul Pressey and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Remember when his son was in the league, Phil?
Yeah, Phil was good at Mizzou, bro.
Yeah.
Phil.
Jimmy Butler. Rough series, no question about it. Typically, we would expect a decent percentage. What did Jimmy Butler shoot in the series?
I know this, actually.
Okay.
For my prep.
Nice call.
Are we rounding up, or do you want the exact percentage?
Either or.
I'll defer to Bryce here. I'm going to guess 30-something.
It's exactly 30%. If you round up, I believe it was 29 or 29.7%.
Final answer?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah.
29.7%. Like I said, and the listeners, the viewers, they have the opportunity to know the answers. They have the opportunity.
Yeah,
I'm not giving just random obscure answers. They can know it. It's just whether they're paying attention, it's a little fun game for you guys. So we'll do it with JD again. That was, I know everybody had fun with that. And, the Bucks, they demolished the Heat. The Heat aren't on fire anymore. You might put some ice on them. Moving forward.
Are we going to get trivia and another overreaction back to back?
No, we're going to mix it up a little bit. Celtics. Actually, go ahead, Zach. You want to do Nets and Celtics overreaction? Go ahead. I don't care. Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. Nets and Celtics overreaction. So, I think we can all agree the Nets should have swept this team.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Does allowing this to go 5 games mean that the Milwaukee series will go 7? Because I'm going to say yes.
Wow. Ooh. Because you think they didn't put them away soon enough. You think it'll make it to where it'll.
I just think 7. If the Celtics take a game off you, the Bucks can take 3 off you.
I agree. Yes.
Ooh.
Maybe 4.
Yes. Yes. Yep. I agree with Zach. That's exactly where my brain went to when watching the game. Is that whoever you face in the second round, like it didn't matter. Boston should not be able to take a game off you.
Because
and
Middleton and Holiday
really touch you.
No, Middleton and Holiday are better than any player besides Tatum.
Okay. I'm going to say no, it doesn't go 7 games. And here's why. Here's my reasoning.
Sure.
And I think you guys might agree with it.
Okay.
I want you to think about the personalities of the big 3 on Brooklyn. Okay. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. Okay?
Sure.
How do we know that this was a game that they just decided to take off?
How do we know that it's not a game they wanted to take?
Tatum got 50, Bryce.
Yeah. What if they just took the night off? They're like, all right, we'll get a little extra rest. We'll take it easy, get some more reps together, and we'll call this one a wash.
Because Bryce, I don't even know if it would have mattered. They made every shot.
Okay.
They made every shot that game. That's the part that I think people forget about. Their percentage was stellar. They shot 50% from the field.
How many teams have that type of game though? The Bucks already had one in the previous series. You really think they're going to have another one?
What?
One of those hot shooting nights?
I think they'll have another one.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm probably even more confident they'll have another.
I'll give it 6 games. I'm going to say Nets in 6.
I think the other. It's just how it is. Like, we're talking about professional basketball players. There's going to be some nights where guys are just on it. And in game 3, which we weren't able to talk about, we'll have to really go in depth on this series. In game 3, like Boston really competed. They made their shots. Forget about Tatum for a second. Forget about Tatum. I mean, Fournier had a very productive, very productive last couple games. And Smart has had a very productive last couple games. They're making things happen offensively. And I understand that Kemba Walker's been, awfully rough in this series. And they're really not finding.
Hold on.
Oh, what?
You guys have been staunch defenders of Kemba Walker.
Yeah,
you guys need to eat it a little bit on this.
No. There's people out there saying he's done, Bryce.
Yeah, they're saying he's done. We're not going to say he's done.
He's averaging 12-4.
I'm not saying he's done.
In this series.
I'm not saying he's done.
He's been hurt all year.
When isn't he hurt, Zach?
Oh,
isn't he hurt?
No.
He's hurt all the time.
He didn't. No. The last 2 years, yeah.
And I think that's. I think that's their.
In Charlotte, I might be remembering wrong, but he wasn't hurt that much.
I'm pretty sure he's had his bout with injuries fairly often.
All I know is when you're looking at Kemba, I guess.
He's not washed.
I'm not calling him washed. I'm not calling him done.
I'm not saying he's washed. I'm just saying he's trending that way.
I don't think if you're saying if his best basketball is past him, I would say yes.
Yeah, it is.
I would say that. But I think that's kind of clear right now, right? But I think it doesn't help when you're kind of uncertain of where you're going to be. It just seems like they've been so reluctant. They're very not helpful with trying to figure out what they're going to do with him next year. It just doesn't seem like they've been.
For good reason. Kemba Walker
paid him a lot of money.
Kemba Walker in this series is shooting 32% and 17% from three.
Sure.
And he's playing 30 minutes. It's not like he's not playing.
No, I know.
He's playing. He did miss the last game, so he's played 3 games in this series. Sure. I feel like for a playoff series, that's a pretty good sample size. Do you disagree?
It's a good
I don't disagree.
This is what you're getting from one of your big time guys.
They're going to have to move off of somebody.
Oh, he sucked.
They're going to have to move off of somebody, right? I don't know who that is, right? My guess is they're going to try to move Smart. That's my guess.
Yeah.
I think that's run its course. He's played well though.
Yeah, he has. I agree, he has. But I'm just saying, I think that's the next guy. I think he's the next guy to move.
Team?
I think
it's Peyton Pritchard's team now.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Look, when it comes,
baby.
But I think Boston. It's been pretty sad in my opinion to have to watch Romeo Langford play 25 minutes and guard Kevin Durant, James Harden. It just is.
Tough break, kid.
It just is. It's like, I don't know what you do, man. First playoff series, you actually get to play, and you're just.
Should still be.
You're just sitting there guarding 2 top 5 offensive players and the best offensive players in your generation, dude. Like, that's just not good for anybody. And Boston's had to do that given the injuries and the limited trust in who they have. Right? They don't trust anybody. They trusted Semi Ojeleye last year. What are they? 5 minutes last game. 5 minutes.
That didn't work.
The last
Jabari
2
Parker,
years.
17. Aaron Nesmith, 19. Like, they're trying. But those guys, Aaron Nesmith's not ready yet, and that's okay because he's a rookie. And Peyton Pritchard, I don't think is really ready because he's a rookie. And I think Boston, it just goes back to my ridiculous point of the fact that they don't have any depth. And Brooklyn demolished you. They demolish you with depth. They demolish it. Their 5 best players that they're bringing into the game. So wherever you have Tatum ranked. Like if you did like a top 7 or top 8 in a series, Brooklyn's probably got, call me crazy, 6 of the top 8. 6 of the top 8, 5 of the top 8, 6 of the top 8. They demolished the top 8. That's all I'm trying to say. When you really think about it, because I'm taking Durant over basically every player.
Sure.
I'm taking Kyrie and Harden over every player in this series.
Oh,
in my personal opinion.
Not even close.
Right. Then I go Tatum. And then from there, I'm taking Joe Harris over whoever Brooklyn's thrown at there. That's 5 already.
Yeah.
So I already got 4 guys in my top 5 on the same team, right? Like that just signals dominance, and why I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they weren't able to take it in Game 3. But I will say the way that they responded in Game 4 is exactly how superstars respond.
Yes.
It's exactly how the elite ones respond.
Yes.
And when talking about that, that's Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, I think Percy, and I want to get your thoughts on this, and then I'll give it to you guys. Kyrie, game 3, I just thought it was a bad shooting night. I don't really think it had anything to do with Kyrie Irving just not playing good. I just
first game back in Boston,
Yeah. And I think, based off what was said, it just seems like there was a lot he was trying to battle through. And obviously we don't know that, but it would be fair to say that that's a possibility. But Kyrie Irving in this game is a legitimate superstar who, in my opinion, has had his best season because his efficiency is off the freaking charts.
Can't argue it from that.
And if he plays like this, I don't care what Brooklyn's throwing Milwaukee's throwing. I don't care. Because he's the greatest finisher I've ever seen. He is a fantastic. When he plays like this, it's unbelievable to watch. 39 points and 11 rebounds. 11 rebounds. It's incredible. And Zach, I'll start with you on this. We'll dive into Irving and then we'll go through the other pieces. I mean, what did you think of Kyrie Irving's game 3 and then game 4? What did you see? What did you like? And how do you think this will help him moving forward?
Well, first off, I'm going to eat up Kyrie versus Drew Holiday. I'm going to love that shit. That's going to be awesome.
Sure.
That's going to be awesome.
Oh, yes.
Game 3, I agree with you. Just a bad shooting night. I think, first playoff game back where he used to play. Hostile crowd. Tough. And,
Yeah. Good way to put it.
The best guy on the other team put up his second 50 piece in 2 weeks. So, it is what it is. But game 4, I think I was talking to you, Caleb. I thought he was going to have 30 at least. I think we were on a Zoom. I said that.
Yep, you did.
And he did that. And the 11 boards, I don't know, Tristan Thompson should be ashamed of himself for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
What are you doing?
So he only gets 6 rebounds. And Kyrie Irving gets 11. The front court, if you look at the front court, I basically look at the legitimate front court players' minutes. Tristan Thompson, six rebounds. Jabari, 6 rebounds. Grant Williams, 2 rebounds. That's only 3 more rebounds compared to a 6-foot guard. I mean, what's going on? And Bryce, I'll let you take it here with Kyrie, and then I want to bring up Harden as well, because I think Harden had a fantastic game. 18 assists was nothing short of fantastic. And when those 2 guards are on, I mean, what are you going to do about it?
Kyrie Irving is probably one of the most interesting people in the NBA.
Oh,
right?
For sure. Yeah.
When you look at his talent and his finishing ability and just a guy who's just a flat out baller. And then you see what, missing time due to personal reasons and him, serving his social justice duties and things like that. Imagine if we had Kyrie Irving for an entire season focused solely on basketball and nothing else. I think he'd be MVP of the league. Truly. I believe that.
Ooh, I kind of like that one.
I believe that.
Wow.
I think that Caleb's digging that. I think Zach's digging that too, actually.
I do like it.
I mean, that game in Boston, I was watching it. I knew it was going to happen, right? I really haven't been watching much of this because I just know it's going to happen. Kyrie Irving hit like 2 or 3 threes in a row.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's Kyrie Irving.
That's Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, he's on it tonight. I like watching Kyrie Irving play because, again, I mean, we've talked about it time and time on this podcast. His ability to finish around the rim is unmatched in the NBA, period.
Yeah.
Very efficient. He's kind of taken on the point. Him getting off the point guard role, I think, has been kind of good for him. and kind of transitioning into this 2-guard.
Yeah, I agree.
Where he can be set up
back to his Cavs role.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can get him in an ISO situation. It's over. It's a layup.
Yeah, it is.
It flat out. It's a layup. I love this. I love this version of Kyrie Irving. This is probably one of my favorite Kyrie Irving seasons.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
This is my favorite Harden season, and this is my favorite Irving season.
So what? Well, I don't like the fact that Harden did what he did to get out of there. But if you look at what he did with Brooklyn,
strictly playing.
Okay.
That Kevin Durant's my favorite seasons will always be his Oklahoma City ones. That's just me.
Yep.
Zach, I think you agree. We've talked about that extensively.
Yep.
But this is my favorite Kyrie.
Well, and then let's look at Harden in this series for a second. Harden's been, look. He's just doing what he does, right? He comes out 41 points and 10 assists and 7 rebounds in game 3, in game 3. In game 4, he goes for 23 points and 18 assists. Hello. This is what you asked, right? And then I think Steve Nash deserves a lot of credit for Harden's success in particular. He's putting him in really good spots. He's staggering his rotations to where James Harden can ultimately be what he did for Houston for years.
Let's not forget D'Antoni there.
In less spurts, but he's doing it in less amount of minutes. So it works, right? Like it works because he's not doing it for the entire game, but he's doing it in spurts. And James Harden can clearly do that while also being an unbelievable facilitator and an unbelievable player. And Zach, I know you love Harden and love what he's been bringing in general throughout his career. What have you been seeing so far in his first series? What are you liking? What are you disliking? And how do you look at that moving forward?
Well, it's basically his OKC role times like tenfold. Sure. Because he's a way better scorer than he was back then. He's a way better playmaker. The seeds of it were there in 2012. When they made their finals run, but now it's like, Jesus, like you can't stop this. You can make a case. You're talking about Steve Nash. You can make a case they have 2 top 10 head coaches on their bench right now.
Yeah.
Make a case.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you can totally make the case.
And Mike D'Antoni, I think, should have a job. I think he will have a job. Hopefully here, Bryce, next year.
A little D'Antoni action.
I hope so. But I love it. He's one of my favorite players ever. And this is one of my favorite versions because he was a great playmaker in Houston. He's just carried it over now. They're missing that. Like, I think a lot of people thought most of his assists came from lobs to Capella, and they did. But it's also like hitting Ariza in the corner, hitting Tucker in the corner.
Yeah, right.
Hitting those guys.
Right.
Here, it's like he's getting his assists in a lot more ways. There's a lot more variety.
I agree. I agree.
Part of that's just having Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but
sure.
Because Kevin Durant can shoot anywhere on the floor with no dribbles.
Anyway.
Right.
So
and Harden and the advantage, and I want to keep adding that because it's a good point. And then when you've played with a guy like Durant for years, like he did, you kind of have obviously he's evolved. Durant's evolved, and so has Harden. But you can have a certain idea of, Durant's really good in this area of the floor. If he's open or around this area of the floor, he can make shots.
Honestly, I think that's all. I think it's everywhere.
I think, but you guys know what I mean, right?
Sure,
Certain spots, he's amazing. And he would tell you, I'm better in this spot. I'm better in that spot. And James Harden's played with him enough to where he knows where those spots are.
Right side, mid-range, over.
I think that's the thing that I think has also made this a seamless transition. And people just honestly need to go shut up. For acting like that transition wasn't going to work, because the fact is these 3 guys are top 5 offensive talents in the NBA this season. Like overall, they're top 5 offensive talents.
Well, can I play devil's advocate here real quick?
Sure, but I don't think it's going to work. But sure, go ahead.
No. I'm not saying that I don't like this Brooklyn team because I do, but
okay.
This isn't hating. I'm just going to pose this question.
Okay.
Does part of you wish Harden hadn't been traded there, just so there'd be a little more up in the airness about the playoffs, especially in the East.
Well, so if it wasn't there, Zach, give me a team.
Yeah, where would you have wanted him to go?
Probably Miami.
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted that. To be honest with you, I think this was the destination I wanted him to go.
Or what if he just stays in Houston? The Rockets just say, "Fuck you."
No, because it would cast a shadow over the entire season.
I don't want that. This to me.
My question is just like, does part of you wish he wasn't on the Nets? Because I thought the Nets were pretty damn good before he got there, and then when he got there.
Yes, partly yes. Because here's what I want, Zach, and here's what we haven't been able to experience in a very long time. We haven't been able to experience a league where we look at the finals and we go, yeah, I don't know. I got nothing for you.
And I think we're gonna have
this year is that.
I disagree.
How?
I'm just saying it would be.
It's gonna be the Nets.
I'm just saying it would be more so up in the air if Harden hadn't been traded there.
Fair, but I
agree.
This to me was the destination I wanted Harden. Right? How many times in real life, you guys, are we going to see 3 offensive players at the caliber of which they are on the same team? How many times?
Probably never. Never again.
Never. Curry, Thompson, Durant, great big 3, right? But the way that Harden, Durant, and Irving go about their offense is must-watch television. Like, I understand people were backing off they shouldn't have been playing late in prime time. But you know what? I don't care. When Brooklyn's on, I'm going to watch them play. Anybody's going to watch them play. Yes. It's not going to matter if you throw the Washington Generals or if you flip out the Boston Celtics or if you flip out Troy Bolton's Wildcats. The fact is, you wanted to see Brooklyn play, and I think it's a shame. I think Brooklyn has this must-watch box office ticket grabbing attraction to them every time they play. I wanted that. I think it's good. I think this offense is good for the league.
Adam Sandler's grown-ups team.
I think Harden is I honestly think Harden gets a bad rap in terms of being a teammate. I think he's a really good teammate. I think you're seeing that with Brooklyn, just the way that he gets guys in the right spots.
Where he wants to be. He's a pretty crappy teammate when he's not.
Okay, but I'm just saying based on where you want him and based off, his place and whatever. But most of his career suggests he's a solid teammate. And I think that's important. And then obviously Kevin Durant. I mean, he's the best player in the NBA until somebody shuts me up. The fact is,
can any of you guess how many points he's averaging this series?
I have the numbers. I can't. Okay. I'm not going to say it.
Zach?
35.
Money.
Wow.
And is Tatum or Durant averaging more points this series?
I'm going to guess Tatum is because he had 90 the past 2 games.
Incorrect.
Wow.
Kevin Durant has 5 points on him more. Well, we talked about Tatum and how fantastic he's been, but again, we expect so much from Durant. Durant's just silently dropping 35 a game, and we don't bat an eye because he's Kevin freaking Durant.
Well, Durant has said in interviews he'd rather score 30 for a month straight than have a couple 50-point games here and there.
Oh, I totally
believe that too.
And this is what, oh my goodness, I love Kevin Durant so much. I could talk about him all day. He is shooting 56% and averaging 35 points on that. He's shooting 46% from 3 and 91% from the free throw line. Yeah. Guys, you guys want to get all over Harden and his scoring ability. This guy is the best scorer we have seen in our lifetime.
Amen.
We will
lifetime.
I agree.
More than Kobe. And no disrespect to Kobe.
Yes, Bryce. Yes. I can't. None of that I'm going to disagree with.
If I could go back to
he's my favorite player. I've said that.
And watch Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City more, I would do it. And I watched him a whole lot.
I mean, like right now, I think it's a great point, Bryce. I mean, here's just a couple things to just add into that. So Kevin Durant, obviously, unbelievable game last night. You went through the stats on that. He had 17 in the first quarter. 17 in the first quarter.
Probably didn't even break a sweat.
Didn't break a sweat, and it's the most for a net since Kenyon Martin in 2002.
LOL, Kenyon Martin.
Kevin Durant, in his ability to get where he wants to go against everybody and anybody, is what makes it, to me, is what would make me lean towards Brooklyn over Milwaukee. But obviously, I'd like to catch some more games and review my stuff a little more. But I think Durant just has this ability. He's the best player in the NBA. He is the best player in the NBA. Lock it, book it. He is the best player in the NBA. I mean, I think what he's doing right now, he is still number one. He's number one. I think, obviously LeBron is right there. I'm just saying, I think if you look at what we've been seeing so far, the indications would suggest that Kevin Durant's number one. I think that's a more than fair indication. He has played unbelievable since the Achilles, since he's had that surgery. And I mean, he doesn't really feel like he's lost a step, if I'm being honest with you. His defense is still lethal. And I think Brooklyn's in a terrific spot. Now, I will say it. I know I mentioned this last pod, but I still think this is very valuable. Jeff Green is a much needed piece for this team. And I think if Jeff Green is not available for them, I think Jeff Green is good. I think that's bad for Brooklyn. I really do. Because they need his minutes at the 5. They really do.
Jeff Green's solid.
No, they need him. They need him, Zach. They need him. They need him to play. If he's not available, that's really going to hurt them because they're going to want to have the versatility to match up against different guys. Okay, like you're obviously probably going to see DeAndre Jordan in the next series, probably guarding against Lopez. We would figure, but to a certain extent, Brooklyn's calling card is to have 5 guys who can switch, and Blake gives you that, and Jeff was giving you that.
Yeah.
And I think Claxton's good, but I think it's fair to say that Claxton, you would rather see Jeff Green in the Claxton minutes. You would rather see other guys in those minutes. And Jeff Green, to me, that's a big deal. We'll continue to follow that on the
Shamet.
Because I find that, Shamet, Shamet needs to just sit there and get ready to lock down for the open threes. Because I'm telling you, I think they're coming. I think he's going to have a lot. I think he could have a big game in the second round.
Bryce has Shamet nightmares because he led the comeback against the Warriors in the playoffs.
Stop. But we'll move forward because I really want to. This Nuggets Blazers series, despite people thinking it's boring, I just think it's like almost a chess game, man. I mean, I understand there's a couple blowouts in there, but I'm just going to be honest here. I mean, if you're Denver, okay, and you let Portland win a game to which Damian Lillard shoots 10%. It's the lowest field goal percentage for Lillard. And the Blazers wins 2015, the lowest field goal percentage for Lillard in his postseason career. And Denver doesn't win that? If you told Malone, hey, Damian Lillard's going to shoot 10%, he's probably thinking, we'll win by 20. We'll win by double digits. I mean, this is pathetic. What are we doing? If you're Denver, and Zach, you're a supporter of Denver. You're a big supporter of Denver. I know you are. You love Denver. What's going on here? Why did they get just spanked? Why did they get spanked?
Well, listen, this guy, and I don't know what it was. I watched this game.
Sure.
I don't know what it was, but Michael Porter.
Yeah.
3 points. He only took 3 shots. What the hell?
I agree.
What the hell? You're not even taking a shot a quarter.
Marcus Howard, 3 of 14.
Oh my goodness! I missed that.
Can we?
Holy crap!
Did Michael Porter leave the game? He wasn't in foul trouble.
He had 23 minutes in the game.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
I think I can explain it. But continue first. Continue.
It's bad. It's bad. Zach, do you have anything else, or do you want Bryce?
Yeah, I got a couple stats.
Yeah, go ahead. Every
single Nuggets starter had a negative plus minus. Every single Blazer starter had a positive plus minus. And it wasn't just like +2, +3. It was like +12, +14.
Matters.
Sure.
-10. Like it wasn't just barely.
Right. Yeah.
Can I give my overreaction right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I love this.
The Blazers will not play more than 8 different guys the rest of the series because they've found their rotation. They've found it.
Okay, list it.
And I'm not counting garbage time. I'm counting like
Okay.
Sure.
So
List it.
Dame, CJ Powell, Nurkic, Anthony, Covington.
right, the 5 starters, and then Hollis Jefferson,
Which
Melo, and I would go Derek Jones over Simons. I really would.
interesting.
I don't think
I like the Hollis Jefferson though. Me and Caleb, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
we think he'd be solid
Yeah.
for them.
Why can't Derek Jones guard Paul Millsap at this stage of his career? Why not?
I agree. I'm with you.
But just to counter, they need some ball handling, right? The 3 that you mentioned off the bench can't ball handle. So
you could just have one of CJ or Dame in the game at
it's
all
Terry
times.
Stotts.
That's-
He's gonna. I mean, I'm not trying to take a shot, but it's Terry Stotts.
Good point.
He likes to have multiple ball handlers. It's a part of his system, as shown right now.
Well, Simon
Norman
sucks.
Powell, Lillard, and McCollum are more guards, and Simons. Look, you know how I feel about Simons. I'm just saying I feel like he has to play. They don't have another option. It's why I was begging for them to go get somebody else instead of Simons.
They could have got They could have got
veteran point. Yeah,
the Pistons. The Knicks got Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. and a 2nd round pick. I'm pretty sure. Why couldn't the Blazers have done that with Simons in a pick?
and surely there were other guys that you could put into that list. Maybe even a George Hill.
Look, if the Pacers can trade TJ Leaf, anybody can get traded. Anybody can do a deal with anyone.
Yeah. Bryce, I know you're into Portland, but if you don't mind keeping it on to Denver here. What have you seen? What have you noticed? I mean, Zach, I think it was a good point on you with Porter.
So I think here's something that I think Denver's overrated at.
Sure.
And I have stats to prove it.
Okay.
I think their defense is overrated.
Okay.
So I mean, when you look at the defensive rating for the Nuggets in this series thus far, it is 120. No, sorry. My apologies. I said the wrong number.
Okay.
When we break it down by player,
Okay.
Nikola Jokic, 124 defensive rating. Now, for the folks out there, defensive rating is an estimate of points allowed per 100 possessions. Okay, so the higher the number is, the worse it is. The worse that is. Okay, so Jokic, 124. Michael Porter, 124. Aaron Gordon, the Damian Lillard stopper, 127. Austin Rivers, who's played somewhat well for them, 126.
They are.
Campazzo is actually technically their best defender. His defensive rating is 118. Paul Millsap, same number. And now Paul Millsap hasn't been playing a ton of minutes. I understand that, so that's a little diluted.
Right,
I think Millsap's a good defender.
At this point in his career, though, Caleb, I mean, it's not like he's fine. He's fine. But I'm not saying like, oh yeah, Paul Millsap's going to be my defensive disruptor. I think that's what gets overlooked, and especially against a team that relies so much on scoring in Portland. I mean, we talked about how bad their defense is, but they play defense when it matters down the stretch. I mean, we saw that on Saturday.
Yeah. No,
so
that's fair.
Okay, Denver's cool and fun and young and cool. Oh yeah, Denver finals. Yeah. How about we play a little defense first? How about we play a little defense?
I mean, Bryce, it does seem like you're kind of ignoring the injuries.
Okay.
Bryce,
No, it does. It does.
No. Let me make this nice and quick for Bryce.
Go ahead.
Nice and easy.
Okay.
If Jamal Murray's playing in this is a 6-game series, end of story.
I disagree with you. Because Jamal Murray can't play defense either.
But there's other, look, they need Dozier. Dozier's a better option than Rivers.
Will Barton?
Barton is a better option than what they have.
When's he coming back? Is he coming back?
They've been really weird on him.
He's been
I'm not sure.
Sidelines like
they are not. I'm not sure.
What's the official injury again? What is it?
Let me double check. I believe the injury is a hamstring. He is out.
What do you guys think about
listen to this real quick. Listen to this, Zach. Sorry to interrupt. So Will Barton's out for game 5.
I don't know.
Most likely out for game 5, but suggested that the swingman could be available for 6 or 7 in the series.
See, but I still worry about that because, I mean, how many games has he missed?
Since this, he hasn't played a single game in this series. If that's
so was he hurt?
I don't know total games.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I don't remember when he got the injury. I mean, it's hard to keep track of a lot of these injuries. But I mean, if it's been a while, even if he comes back for 6 or 7,
sure,
hey, he's still got to get the game legs.
Yeah.
But that's a better option than Marcus Howard.
Sure, yeah. Marcus Howard shooting 14 shots.
He's been out. He's been out since April 24th.
Oh my goodness.
It's a long
so
time.
A month.
So yeah,
it's been a month.
So Will's been out, but I think he makes a gigantic difference in this series if he was able to play. With his shooting and his defense, he would and his playmaking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give props to Austin Rivers for that really good game he had in Game 3. It was a really nice performance. But I'm not. Can I bet on that again?
You can't count on him. You're right.
And I think Barton, I can count on like 15 points. But I mean, what are we doing though with Jokic, Zach? 7 of 18 on 27 minutes,
dude.
What are we doing?
Well, my overreaction was before I changed it. It was he needs to average 40 the rest of the series if they're going to win.
Ooh, I kind of like that better.
Because especially if Barton doesn't come back, and especially if Michael Porter's playing with his head up his ass like this. I mean, it's just horrible. How about this guy, right? Because he got in garbage time, and I honestly forgot he was on the team. Why not? Because Norman Powell absolutely torched you guys, especially. So why not bring in JaVale McGee to protect the rim? Because Jokic, although he's gotten better on defense, he's never going to be a rim protector. Never.
No.
JaVale McGee is one of the most athletic centers in the league. Like, why not? Why not? Why not? Because most of Norman Powell's points seem like came in the paint. Why not? Give McGee some run.
They have too deep of a front court to do it. Millsap and Green, I think they're basically decided. Millsap and Green are better than McGee. Therefore, we're just going to give them the front court minutes. Green and we know that Jokic is. Yeah, he did.
Are we over? Can we? How close are you guys to saying JaMychal Green impact is overrated?
No, not yet. Not yet.
No.
He had a couple bad games.
No, he's good. No.
I mean,
we need to quit doing that because we did this with Porzingis. He had a couple bad games. People were like, he sucks. We did it with Jay Crowder. People were like, he sucks.
What do you expect, Bryce, out of a guy like that? I'm not expecting
I get what Bryce is saying. I get what Bryce is saying. Because last year, JaMychal Green got all the praise for being the only guy that showed up in Game 7 besides Kawhi.
But he's not. His defense sucks. Offensively, he's been okay. He's getting 19 minutes a game, so he's been playing meaningful minutes, and he's not shooting awful. Like he's shooting 41%, 30% from 3. Not great, but not terrible either.
And when he gets ISO'd on Melo, it's like LOL, like laugh out loud because just you're fucked, dude. You're fucked.
Yeah, but that's not the offense for that. That's not what Denver's hunting for. They're not hunting for JaMychal Green on Carmelo Anthony ISO. That's not what you want your offense to be in the playoffs.
No, I'm saying Green is fucked in that situation.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I was looking at it the other way. Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, absolutely.
Green is cooked.
Yeah, Melo is a professional scorer, literally.
Yeah, and he's just going to make him play more up at the perimeter.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky matchup for a lot of backup bigs though. I don't want that to be a shot at JaMychal Green. Like most backup bigs are going to have a tough time staying with a guy like that. With all due respect, like I just think that Green I think is definitely productive. I think if they win this series, if Denver wins this series, we could see his impact be really big moving forward, and we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Hey Caleb,
go ahead.
You didn't talk about one guy for Portland.
Bowen. Well, I didn't talk about him because we basically talked about the guy that played over him, and the guy that I've been begging to play over him, and I've been saying that Cantor is not the answer, and Cantor They pulled the plug. They pulled the plug.
He'll be back.
And the only reason that they pulled the plug is because he can't play defense. Which is what we have been saying. Which is literally what we've been saying the entire time.
He'll be back.
Back on the bench, Bryce. He'll be back on the bus.
Move on. We'll move on. We'll move on. But it should be a fun series though to follow and stay tuned for the.
Give me the next fun series because
Lakers Suns is the next series, and I mean this has been a thrill to cover. I'm very thankful that Alex said this was last in his draft board. I picked it first on my draft board. I'm just thankful I got it. This has been a terrific
notes for this game.
This has been terrific all the way around. I mean, for crying out loud, obviously, I
want the overreaction first.
No. We got to do one thing before we get to the overreaction because it's too detrimental to the potential. This is the one
I was telling you guys about. I'm going to put Caleb in a spin cycle.
I'm worried about. I'm in all seriousness. The Davis injury could be a problem. And I feel like we got to tackle that before we do anything else. So Anthony Davis with the groin.
Sure.
He at this point, there is not great optimism, according to Woj, that the Lakers will play Davis in Game 5, which is a big deal because every game matters in the playoffs. And you obviously want to be able to eliminate the Suns faster if you're the Lakers. Well, okay, if they can't have him for Game 5, I like Phoenix to win that game. I don't think any of us are going to disagree, correct?
I will not disagree with you on that.
Zach, are you going to disagree with me there? Game 5.
Game 5, no Anthony Davis.
No, if no Anthony Davis, are we going Phoenix?
Look, I've held my tongue on this all pod.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's either going to be Game 5 or Game 6, but the refs are going to steal a game from the Suns. And I don't know which game it's going to be.
Well, it might be 5 then.
It might be 5.
No, I think it's going to be 6 because I think they're going to win. They're going to win Game 5. I think they're going to win big. And then Game 6 is the game they should win. And I mean, the refs have been fucking abominable in all 4 games. This is the worst officiated series by far. It's no coincidence the Los Angeles Lakers are involved. I expect a railroading in Game 6.
Scott Foster make an appearance?
Probably. Because I think the Suns win Game 5, and I think the league won 7 games. Because I would be willing to bet this is the highest rated series.
I think the league won 7 games.
And
no, that's fair. That's fair. Oh gosh.
Anytime I think, man, the Suns are better. The fucking refs interfere because look, I'm not gonna say the fix is in or something, but I find it hard to be a coincidence when the Lakers and LeBron are in these big games and they get all the calls.
Sure.
And the stats might not say it in terms of the fouls or the free throws, but it's like when the fouls are called. Like the Suns go on a little 8-0 run and then they get Ayton for a charge. Or they get Chris Paul for a block. Like I don't.
Or Crowder. Crowder, I feel like, has been the guy that they're just not giving in. And really, it seems like he's been getting screwed out of some calls.
Listen, I guarantee Game 6, DeAndre Ayton has 2 fouls in the first quarter. Fucking book it. People listening,
you can make a side bet on that.
Go to your DraftKings. And if the over-under on Ayton fouls in the first half is 1.5, hammer the fucking over. Because they're going to get the over on that in 5 minutes.
All right, well,
He's absolutely dominated Anthony Davis. He's dominated Andre Drummond.
It's been outstanding.
Dominated Marc Gasol.
Outstanding.
And I'm going to throw Caleb in a spin cycle later with DeAndre Ayton. But
go ahead. Give it to me now, right now.
Oh, okay. Let's go for it.
All right. This isn't my reaction.
This is
okay. Go ahead.
Wait, this is or is not?
It's not.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Caleb.
Yep.
You got to pick one guy.
Oh God.
DeAndre Ayton or Kristaps Porzingis.
Oh Lord.
Hey, before you answer, Caleb, just for the folks out there, Caleb Lynn is a staunch defender of Kristaps Porzingis. He absolutely loves him, so this is just killing him inside right now. Are we recording video yet? Are we doing that?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, great.
We've been recording video the last 3 times.
Oh, okay. You just haven't said anything. Cool.
No, I just haven't said anything because basically we don't really need to have.
Okay.
Our faces are pretty much camera ready anyway. I think. You're asking me right now or long term?
right now.
Yeah, I'll take Ayton.
Yeah.
Because I even though I
And you know what? Long term, give me Ayton.
long term is Ayton.
Yeah.
Long term for Ayton, 6 years down the line.
And I know they play.
You can call me crazy. You can call me crazy, but I think he could be a top 3 center in 6 years.
Funny you say that.
Sure.
That's a little foreshadowing. Funny you say that.
Because I think you got to move him up the rankings soon. You got to move him up the rankings big time.
Funny you say that because
Go ahead. Well, you moved him up. You moved
my
him up. Didn't you?
overreaction. DeAndre
Okay.
Ayton's the 3rd best center in the NBA.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ooh, that's tough. I will say
Jokic, Embiid. Jokic and Embiid.
Jokic, Embiid, and then who else? Who else? The only one I'd seriously make an argument for is Karl Anthony Towns.
Are you putting Anthony Davis at the 5 or the 4?
No, because he's a
4.
softie and he plays the 4.
4.
Okay.
I would say
I think he's better than Adebayo.
wow. Do you really?
Especially after the series.
You think Ayton is better than Bam?
You're making
Dude.
some wild accusations.
Wow.
Dude, this series.
Wow.
Bam, you compare him in this playoffs.
Oh my gosh.
Bam sucked. And
This
Ayton
is
has
your
been
best one so far, Zach. This is your best one.
You know what?
Yes.
Book it. Book it.
Oh, Zach, come on. I think you're falling in love a little too fast.
Who else are you going to make an argument for besides
Holy
Towns, Bryce?
cow. Oh my gosh.
Who else?
So you don't think Bam is better than Ayton?
No.
Do you think
Series proved it.
Do you think
Bam
he's better?
sucked.
So you think he's above the
Adebayo was an all-star.
You think he's above the
Look, I like
Capella,
Bam a lot.
the
But when you get
Vucevic?
owned by Brooke Lopez, which I don't think Ayton would get owned by Brooke Lopez.
Is
I
Sabonis a
understand.
5? Is Sabonis a 5?
I count him a 4.
No.
I do.
putting
Well,
him-
actually, scratch that. Alex and I talked about this off the record. I feel like Turner plays the 5, but he's more of a 4 in their offense, so therefore Sabonis is a 5.
Okay.
For me.
I mean,
And you
what
got your
about
Gobert.
Vucevic?
You got I take Ayton over Vucevic. But then you got your
I can see
Gobert.
that one.
You've got your
Which you're not high on Gobert. You never have.
who else?
No,
Who else?
nobody is.
I think
Towns, Gobert.
I would say Towns
Capella.
is a top. I would say Towns is top 3. So
Then you're
I would
looking at
say
Towns, Gobert, Capella.
I would say Towns is top 3 otherwise,
Right.
but I do think Ayton's probably top
Look,
6, 7.
Somebody order Zach Griffith a DeAndre Ayton jersey.
DeAndre Ayton is awesome.
You can order me one too, please.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking
Okay,
awesome. He's
all
making
right.
a difference this series, and he's why the Suns
Yeah.
are gonna win.
Well, can I throw
Win the
some
series?
stuff down?
No,
They're
hold
gonna
on. Win the series.
Okay.
He is why the Suns are gonna beat the Lakers.
Are you booking that?
I'm
Booking
booking
it.
it.
You're
Fuck the
locking it in.
refs.
Locking it in.
Fuck the refs. Fuck what the league won. The Suns are beating the Lakers.
Lock it in right now.
Lock it in.
They're a better team.
Lock it in.
I don't even care if Anthony Davis comes back.
Lock it in.
I care.
Lock it in.
I don't even care if he comes back.
Zach, lock it in.
Lock it in.
Wow.
Because Anthony Davis, I don't look. Lakers fans, they're cute. They're gonna blame this loss on losing.
Oh god.
Newsflash: he had 6 points when he went down in 20 minutes. So shut up. He's getting owned by a 3rd-year center in his first playoff series. So just shut up. Just shut up.
Wow. I'll just say I think Ayton's been really awesome, but
And I
Zach's
will
covered
say,
a lot
if
of
they
points.
don't win, it'll be because of the refs.
Ayton to me has been outstanding and even better than I expected. And I think, and I thought he was going to be really good. And I feel like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
been my
baby.
guy. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
baby.
been my guy. He's been my guy for a long
That's
time.
right.
Like I knew how good he was. All right. I'm not new to it.
That's an overreaction for you, folks.
But look, I think he's been completely in it. He's given them that next level. But Bryce, I know, and I'm not even going to go too much on Ayton because we pretty much did that.
I think
but
that's the clip.
Chris Paul. I felt like in Game 4, just gives you what I think Campaign doesn't give you. Like the guy that slows the game down, that gives you that wise bucket, even if they don't even make the bucket. You sit there and like, okay, that's a fine possession. You take the clock up, things like that. Like, it seems like we're seeing Chris Paul get in a groove here, Bryce. Am I crazy to think that?
No. And I mean, here's what I'll say about game 4. I had to watch the highlights, decided to hit the links with my dad. We had a good time out there. Beautiful weather for some golf. Chris Paul looked very surgical in game 4.
Yeah, you look.
And this is a vintage Chris Paul performance, right?
Oh,
again, not gonna jump off the stat line there, but Chris Paul, do not understate his value. We've talked about it several times on this podcast.
Yeah.
Him not healthy affected the Suns and the Lakers. They dominated and act like they were dominating a healthy team. They were not.
No.
This is Chris freaking Paul we're talking about. Zach Griffith claims the Rockets would have made the finals if Chris Paul would have played Game 7. I disagree, but
absolutely would.
I mean, we all know about that.
And if Scott Foster wasn't reffing the game.
This makes sense. Chris Paul healthy, Suns win. Makes a whole lot of sense to me here, guys. Makes a whole lot of sense.
Hitting those jumpers in the lane like it was nothing.
And it looked like the shoulder didn't even hurt.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Sure.
So I'm just thinking it's just a little muscle thing. He'll be fine. I think just a side note, I think it'll be the same thing with Luka Doncic and his neck injury. I think he'll be okay next game.
Let's hope. Yeah.
But I mean, a couple other things with the Suns.
Sure.
Here's what's scary to me, guys. We haven't talked about Devin Booker. Here's what's scary about Devin Booker, okay?
Sure.
Averaging 25 points for the series. Obviously a very integral part of the Suns offense.
Yeah.
This is, and you know what? Devin Booker hasn't even played well yet. And here's what I mean by this.
Game 1, he was awesome.
No, hold up. I want to hear his argument.
No, I agree. Like, Devin Booker has been good, but he hasn't been great yet. And now I'm not a Devin Booker hater. I know he can play.
No, you're not. I know you're not.
And here's what I'm saying. And he's going to find it. And when he does, he's going to explode. He is only shooting 41% from the field right now. Here's the only thing that's holding him back on that shooting percentage. Would you care to guess what he's shooting from 3?
Unfortunately, I have it in my preps.
Zach, do you know?
In the 20s.
It is 26% from 3 right now.
Yeah.
And when he finds it from 3 and he starts stroking those threes,
yeah,
it is going to be dang near unguardable for Devin Booker. I mean, that's just a flat out truth.
And Crowder got his groove back a little bit, I felt.
Right. Crowder's had an awful 3-point shooting series. He's only shooting 18%.
Sure.
Now, on the Lakers side, no, one more thing with the Suns.
Sure.
Torrey Craig, our guy, Torrey Craig.
Yeah, baby.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's averaging 8 minutes a game. Okay. Let me tell you these shooting splits. 54% from the field, 57 from 3. Play the guy more. Just play him.
All right.
He's gonna hit threes.
We've been begging it.
Just keep play him. Just play him. Now, as far as the Lakers go.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. A strategy that I might, and I'm dead serious when I say this strategy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been in love with Ayton. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Here's what I might do though. Okay. At this point, and I would start at Game 5. Man, Anthony Davis cannot go. Disney. Sorry. Hack at Ayton. I'm hack at Ayton. He's shooting 38% from the free throw line.
Not good.
It's not good.
No, it's not good at all. It's not good at all. I'm doing hack at Ayton, baby. If I'm the Lakers, because I'm desperate, everybody already hates us. Hey, why not? Let's throw fuel on the fire. Hack at Ayton. Because why not?
It's nice. Yeah. That'd be ironic because for years they had Shaq and he was just dominating, and then people started hacking him. And
right. You're telling me Marc Gasol makes that much of an impact that you can't tell him to go out there and just foul Ayton every time he touches the ball?
They won't do. I don't know if they'll do it every time.
Use Montrezl Harrell for it.
Yeah. Montrezl Harrell's become unplayable. What I heard is he's in the doghouse. It's not that he's unplayable, because I don't think he's unplayable, right? But something is not right.
No.
And I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
And by the way, Taylor Horton Tucker, the guy that they had to keep,
making a big impact.
Yeah, 13 minutes this entire series. He's been in 2 games. Yeah. 13 minutes.
They could use him right now.
He's 1 of 6.
Or they could use the guy they were going to trade him for right now.
Oh, yeah, they sure could. And Drummond's been their centers are just awful. Sure. They don't know what they're doing. They're on like a rotation, like a really hard, and Vogel can't pick one. Just can't pick one. I don't. It's so weird because at the beginning of the season, before they got Drummond, I thought the Lakers they actually did a pretty good job in the offseason. I really did. But come to find out, they really didn't.
Drummond looks like the kid who got lost at Disney World and can't find his mommy. Because he sucks. You're gonna have to
explain this.
He's so lost. He's so lost. He's getting bodied by Aiden. Bodied. Destroyed. And again, DeAndre
Big Penguin.
3rd-year center. First playoff series against the defending champions. Dominating. So, you know what, Chris Paul, he's looking fine. We talked about him. He's looking fine. Every Phoenix starter was in double figures. Every single one.
Yeah, they were.
Aiden's final stat line, 14 rebounds, 14 points, 17 rebounds. Jay Crowder, shutting everyone up. 17 points on 50% from the field.
Talk to him.
Also had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, plus 21 for the game.
Talk to him.
And hit the clutch 3 to seal it. So just shut up.
Yeah.
And Kaminsky and Saric, maybe they should try the G League because
that might be helpful.
I think they're cooked.
Hey, I got some more for you guys. I got some more Lakers stats for you. Okay. Well, first off, I'm gonna go this way. Hey, Caleb.
Sure.
Could you tell me playoff KCP's 3-point percentage right now? Could you tell me that? I can tell you. I have it right here.
It's not good.
Oh, okay.
That's all I know.
Hey, wait, Zach, I got another one.
Zach, you want to ask what it is? You want to know what it is?
23%.
No.
Lower?
8.
Oh.
8.
Yes.
8. You know what Kyle Kuzma's is?
Yeah, go ahead.
19. 19.
Not what you want. Not what you want.
Oh, it's so bad.
Well, I got another one.
I want to demand more from LeBron James.
Oh, well, here we go.
Oh yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I don't care. I'm doing this.
Is his legacy on the line, Bryce?
This is ridiculous.
No, I'm not gonna go
his legacy on the line.
That far. I'm not gonna go that far.
This is ridiculous.
LeBron James, you have set the table for you to suck.
Sure.
And you have done just that in terms of what we know you're capable to do.
Right.
I need more from you. I don't want to hear I'll never be 100%, blah, 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 blah. No. You have assembled this team. You have picked your guys. Be better. Be better. You want to show us that you're LeBron James.
Okay. All right. I'm not even letting this. I'm not even.
No. I got another one for you to eat it on, Caleb.
Oh.
Not just KCP.
Oh, I love when Caleb has to eat it.
Not just KCP.
Go ahead.
Bryce, you know who's been a pretty solid backup point guard in these playoffs?
I know where this is going. This is great. This is glorious.
Mr. Cameron Payne.
Oh, Cam Payne, baby.
Eat it, son.
I'm unfortunately, you have to give it to me at the end of the series because I feel like there's a roller coaster waiting to happen.
Oh, here we go. Disrespecting Cam Payne.
No, there's not. It's just I need, give it to me for the whole series.
Who's been a more impactful backup point guard in the playoffs so far than Cameron Payne?
That's a great question.
It's not Raul Neto, is it?
No, it's not. It's not Ish Smith either.
That's probably it then. He probably is in the conversation. He's in the conversation.
Like Jalen Brunson.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say Brunson maybe. But, I mean, I'll give you Payne. I'd probably say Payne has been the most impactful. I'll give you that. I'll own up to it.
Jeff Teague?
I definitely think he could fall down. I think we're up here. I think we're really high up. We could be expecting the the fall. But without further ado, do we have any other thoughts on this game? Any?
No, except I can't wait to see the end of these. These
Zach?
are going to be awesome.
Go Suns. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I won't let you get too deep into that, and that'll conclude our LynnSanity for this week. It was, I like I said, it'll be a fantastic rest of the playoffs to keep following. Zach with the Circle City podcast. I know he's been taking a break on it, but don't be afraid to just go back through the episodes and just see what he's put out. And I know he has plenty planned out for us, so please check those out. I heard there's a battleground coming as well this week, so that should be something to keep an eye on as they look to post that and get that up underway. LynnSanity obviously have their pod Wednesday with JD. And as far as I'm concerned, Alex and Dylan have their Power Hour. Divine Rhyme should be coming out with something. This week, but I know that they've had there were some issues at first getting everything set and put away, but I believe that all of that will be good to go. And then obviously we have the Triple Option podcast, which is planning out their would've, could've, and should'ves. And, there's plenty of content out there for everybody. So please check it out. And Bryce, thank you for coming on.